How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another First Descendant video. Now today we're going to be going over an in-depth guide on how we're going to farm Esiemo. I've been getting a lot of questions since I've released my beginner guide on him, on how easy is he to farm, what's the best way to farm him, and should you farm him. So I'm going to go over everything you need to do. It's going to be very detailed so you can follow along with me. And if there are any questions or concerns, feel free to use the comment section below. I will be answering every comment to help you guys navigate this. I know it can be quite confusing. So without wasting any time, let's get straight to it. So the first thing I want to note is that a lot of people think you have to go to NIEs to check this stuff. You do not have to. If you open up your map, you go to Access Info, you go to the Descendant Research tab on the left, type in the Descendant you want. We're going to go Esiemo here. Click on them, and you see here it brings up the same type of screen that tells you everything that you need. So you're going to need 292 Flectorite, 462 Shape Memory Alloy, and if you click F on these, they show you exactly where you get them. These are going to come from resource boxes and munition boxes in the White Knight Gulch. Memory alloy coming from resource boxes and munition boxes from the Hagios region. And I will have a screenshot of what these look like so you know what they are. And then we have Deformed Biometal, which is the rare material required to craft the Enhanced Cells blueprint. So Deformed Biometal comes from the Fortress region of the map. I do have a video on my channel of this. It's kind of a smaller video, but it is there if you want to see exactly the best method of doing this. The best way to do it is going to be the Converter Facility Strategic Outpost. And you're going to run this outpost. It's going to take literally 1 minute. You're going to load through this zone. So you're going to go to the move gate. And then you're going to go back through the move gate. And it could give you a refreshed area. And you could just keep running it over and over. And that's how you're going to want to farm the Deformed Biometal. It's very, very quick. Now, the Enhanced Cell Blueprint comes with 4 material patterns, amorphous material patterns, that can be opened, giving you a chance to receive the Enhanced Cells Blueprint. Now, if you click F on this, like you do for all the other materials, it's going to bring you and show you boss fights that you can do that will allow you to open these material patterns. Now, what you have to do is click into it. So as you can see here, it says this comes from the Common Dead Bride, so you're able to open material pattern 022. By defeating the Dead Bride on normal mode. And at the end, when you defeat the boss, you're going to have the option to open a relic or a amorphous material pattern, and this is the one you would choose. Now this only gives you a 6% chance because it is on normal, and normal Dead Bride is very easy. But if you click into it, it'll tell you here that you need to do Echo Swamp Normal Seed Vault, which is a mission. This is a operation. And it's going to drop at a 100% chance for this one in particular. So that's how you see exactly where you can get the material patterns that need to be opened in order to get these blueprints. Now, another thing you can do, if you go back to the access info, in the amorphous materials section, you can type in, let's do 022 because we were just looking at that one. And you can hover over it and it'll show you the drop chances of your item. So in this case, we have the Esiemo Enhanced Cells Blueprint, dropping at a 6% rate when opened. The reason this rate is so low is because this is an easier material pattern to farm. You do get a guaranteed one every single time, and it is on normal mode. Now, there is a way for a lot of these material patterns that you need for Esiemo to get 2 guaranteed, but it does require a group. But at the very least, you get a guaranteed 1. Esiemo isn't the worst to farm. He's actually a lot easier to farm than Kyle, at least in my experience. My RNG has been very good the past couple days, which is rare because it was absolutely awful not too long ago. But hey, no complaining from me. Anyways, that was a little tutorial on how you can see the drop rates of each material or item coming from the material patterns. So now we're going to go back to Esiemo. All right, now that we're back to where we left off, as I was explaining for acquiring the Enhanced Cells Blueprint, you have 4 options. Now, as you can see here, we have pattern 022, pattern 059, pattern 104, and then we have something that says Abyssal Void Fusion Reactor. Now, Abyssal Void Fusion Reactors are also boss fights, but require you to farm a certain material from reactors or Abyssal Fragments, and these fragments will give you the required materials to enter the Void Fusion Reactor. Now, I'll show you an example of what I mean. So as you can see here, this is tied to a material pattern 121. So step number 1 is acquiring material pattern 121. How do you acquire material pattern 121? You go to the fortress on hard mode. You load up Converter Facility, Vulgus Strategic Outpost. Now keep in mind this is perfect because this is also where you can get Deformed Biometal, so you're doing a 2-for-1. But what's very important to note for these Converter Facilities is that if you look here and you scroll down, you see the main reward and you see, oh, amorphous material pattern. Now remember, We're going for 121, not 120. So although 120 has a chance to drop here, you have to do the infiltration to get material pattern 121, and it's also at a 5 to 25% chance. How do you do an infiltration? I have a guide in the Kyle video from before, how the end up form for Kyle. I'm not going to go too much over because it makes the video too long, but the gist of it is, instead of destroying the canisters, you have to hack them. In order to hack them, you have to not be spotted by the enemies. How do you do this? Well, the easiest answer is Sharon. Sharon has invisibility and can hack them, and you get double rewards. So the best way is to have Sharon. However, if you do not have Sharon, you're going to have somebody, probably a group, unless you're just slaying out by yourself, and you have to kill every single ad, and then you have to wait the 8-second timer out and hack the console without being spotted. It's very hard to do solo, it's very hard to do without Sharon, so my recommendations is to get yourself a Sharon or find a friend that can help you with this, because it'll make your life much, much easier. As I was saying, you have to do the successful infiltration, and that'll give you your chance at material pattern 121. Now, material pattern 121 drops the enhanced cells blueprint at a 20% drop rate. So after completing the void fusion reactor, which I'll show you on the map here in a second, you have a 20% chance when opening the material pattern. So the void fusion reactor, as you can see here, show you one more time, it's in the fortress on hard mode in the fallen arc. So we open up our map. Let's get out of here. Let's go map, go to all the regions, we go to fortress, fallen arc. And as you can see here, there are these two nodes that look different than the others. This is what's used to start the boss fight. Now, how do you get the materials? As you can see, it says you need 34 monomer void shards and 11 inorganic void shards. Now, it may not be from this exact reactor, but if you go over here to the left, you see these are void fragments. And if you scroll down, it'll tell you at the bottom here that this is going to give you 12 monomer shards and 3 inorganic, along with 750 quantum crystal. That's a 100% drop chance, and you get this every time you destroy the fragment. To destroy the fragment, you got to defeat 2 to 3 sets of ads. This does take around 3 to 5 minutes, depending on your ad clearing capabilities. And if you look, it's very important that you see it's destructible only by skill and electric. So you have to have an electric damage dealing Descendant for this, that being Sharon or Bunny. It's very important that you match the attribute, because if you do not, you will not get these additional rewards. Now, I can actually throw up a chart on the screen here really quickly showing you where you get the materials from each reactor and each region. So that could help you out a little bit when farming these. So you would go to this reactor, you would activate it by using the 34 monomer void shards and the 11 inorganic. It's very important also, do not be doing this in easy or normal mode. You have to be in hard mode to open this exact relic. Okay? Do not waste your materials doing normal, because you won't be able to open the relic. And when I say relic, I'm referring to the amorphous material pattern, just using Warframe talk. Now, along with being able to open the amorphous material pattern, which would be 121 in this case, you get a chance at all these mods and the weapons, etc., just normal drops. And I'm going to quickly go over these other material patterns and the best way to farm them, or the most effective way. So we have pattern 059. You can open this by defeating the hard mode executioner. Now you need to do Kingston hard mode Slumber Valley. Now Slumber Valley, these are operations. These can be launched from Albion. Now the best way to launch these operations is to go to Albion. I'm going to back out. I'm going to show you my map. You see here I'm at Albion at the city entrance. You're going to walk forward. You're going to go down this first set of stairs, take a left here. Then you're going to have 2 terminals. 1 operation, 1 defense. We're focusing on the operation. Search info. You need to be on hard mode for this. And you can see here there's 2 operations per node. Now we're going to go to Kingston and we're going to find Slumber Valley. Not Magister Lab, Slumber Valley. Now you see here we get the selected rewards. There's a score tied to this. I'm not going to go too in depth with this because I don't want the video to be too long. The basis is the more that you activate here, the higher your score will go. Right now my kill score is 100%. If I activate them all, it's 150%. But if you activate them all, you can only do it on private. You need a group for this. If you're going to do it on private, this is the best way, because you will get 2 patterns at the end, as you see here. You get a 100% acquisition chance, and you get 2. So you're going to get 2 058s. Now, if you do not have a group and you need to do this alone, you're going to uncheck the options, and you're going to get a 100% chance at one of your material patterns, but about a 50, probably a 25, depending on how many ads you kill, chance of getting the second one. But you will get a guaranteed 1. Now, for this one, we need 059, not 058. So to change this, you go to the top right here and click change, and we switch it to 059. Now this is the one we want. As you can see here, this has a chance of dropping the Esiemo Enhanced Cells Blueprint at a 32% drop rate. So you would change it to 59. And if you're alone, you would leave the modifiers off. You can't even put 1. You would leave them off and do a public operation. Unless you're just insane at the game and you like doing hard content. If that's your thing, then go ahead and check them all and go for private operation. I've done it many times. It's possible, but it is not enjoyable. I will be honest. It's not enjoyable at all. Or instead of clicking them all, if you feel like you can get a score without having all them checked, then maybe you just check a couple of them, right? Max HP, etc. Right? The choice is yours, but this is how you can farm the exact material pattern you need in operations. Now, these are longer missions, but they do come with drop chances at Transcendent mods, and it's not just Glacial Cloud. There's a lot you can get, along with long distance maneuvering, etc. So these are very nice to farm just for the passive materials and for your amorphous material pattern. Now, moving back to Esiemo, it's going to be the same thing for the material pattern 104, which also comes with the 32% drop chance when opening the material pattern. But it is a 100% drop chance. Again, this is the Hagios, the Haven. One more time, I'll show you very quickly. Open up this, go to hard. We're going to go to the Hagios region. We're going to click on the Haven and material pattern 104. This is the one we need. Do not change it. Material pattern 104, 100% drop chance. Start public operation or private with the modifiers, your choice. There's your options of other rewards. And this goes for every single operation when it's tied to an amorphous material pattern. Now that we've got the bulk of explaining how everything works out of the way, the last 3 are going to be very simple to explain. I'm going to go a little bit faster. And if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to use the comment section. I will answer every single question you guys have. So we have ceramic composite. Again, these are going to be dropped from the resource boxes, munition boxes. Same with the reverse charging coil. Organic biogel, the rare material for the stabilizer blueprint. The best mission you're going to want to do is the Kingston surveillance radar. This is an extermination and literally takes you a minute with Bunny. You use the Bunny if you have her. It's preferred. Without Bunny, it takes 2 minutes and 1 second. That was the exact number I got in almost all my runs. This will net you about 8 to 10. I've seen that the numbers can be pretty inconsistent. It is RNG based, but you get a good amount for this, and every minute is very nice. Plus, you get the extra drops, the reactors, the other rewards, etc. And I have gotten a couple Transcendent mods doing this, and I didn't do this for super long, so it's actually seeming like it's a pretty good drop rate for Transcendent mods. So Kingston Surveillance Radar, the Extermination is your best bet for farming the Organic Biogel, and then the Esiemo Stabilizer Blueprint. You can open a Pattern 067, defeating Hard Mode Dead Bride. You can open a Pattern 077, defeating Hard Mode Devourer. And then you have 2 of the Abyssal Void Fusion Reactors. Now, again, I'm not going to go in depth with these. If you need to, go back. I'll leave timestamps in the video. Go back and see how the Abyssal Void Fusion Reactors are done, so that way you understand how to do these. You do need to acquire the amorphous material pattern tied to them, and for this one, it is 081 and 103. Pattern 067 is tied to the Sterile Land Hard, the Forgottens operation. And pattern 077 is tied to the Sepulture Vespers hard mode. And remember to launch these from Albion. It's a lot faster than running and teleporting to the actual node. Moving on to the Spiral Catalyst, you're going to need 290 semi-permanent plasma, 363 nanopolymers, 46 specialized biometal, plus the Spiral Catalyst blueprint. The specialized biometal being the rare material here. And the best way to farm this is to go to the Agios region, the Dune base, Volga strategic outpost. As you can see here, this one drops pretty good mods, which is why we opted for this one. You have Venom Injector, Material Pattern 108, Action and Reaction, Iron Defense, and Silly Weeper, which is an insane scout rifle. So that's why we went with this one. It takes literally a minute. And if you do want to do the same tactic you do for the Fortress one, you could run over to the forward base and teleport through, or you could opt to go for just teleporting straight here and then teleporting back. However, it may not be as optimal. It depends on if you're getting new loading zones. I found that it's more reliable if you teleport here, then wait for like 20 seconds, then teleport back, rather than just teleporting instantly. But try it out, see if it's working for you. If you're not getting new zones, it might be more beneficial to just wait the 5 minutes, run around, maybe do a search or an extermination, avoid fragment, etc. Do something to occupy your time. Don't just be standing around. You definitely don't want to miss out on loot in the first Descendant. This game is a grind. Any chance you get what you can. Now moving on to the Spiral Catalyst blueprint. These are all tied to Void Fusion Reactors, except for Pattern 127, which you would have to have beat in the game on hard mode, all of the intercept bosses, because you need to do the Molten Fortress, and I have not done that yet. I'm waiting for my team to do Frostwalker. Pattern 015, which is tied to the normal Void Fusion Reactor, it does cost less materials, but the drop chance is 3% every time you open this pattern, so it's really, really low. Choose what you decide to do if the materials are a problem, but the void fragments are very easy, so I would highly recommend going for these hard mode void fusion reactors. Now, to acquire pattern 061, which is tied to this sterile and rockfall void fusion reactor, you need to do the rockfall Volga strategic outpost. And if you look at the strategic outpost here, we don't need 060, we need 061. So you need to do an infiltration. The infiltration requires sharing, as I explained earlier, or a really good team. So keep that in mind. Make sure you're always checking for the additional reward for successful infiltration. That part is very important, or you will never get the drop for your amorphous material pattern. And for the Agios Abyssal Void Fusion Reactor, we have the Dune Base Volga Strategic Outpost. Again, tied to the same infiltration that I was talking about earlier. We need 109, and that is from infiltrating successfully. Now moving on to the Esiemo Code. After you farmed everything up, you have it all crafting, this is the last piece you need. This is probably one of the easier ones to get, and the reason I say that is because it's not as much of a drag as the others. Although it is tied to void fusion reactors, which could be a problem for some, it is not tied to the infiltration operations. So to me, this is so much better. I despise the infiltrations, and what I mean by infiltrations, as I explained earlier, if you click on here, so we have the Abyssal Void Fusion in Vespers Moonlight Lake, it's tied to a strategic outpost, but you do not have to do the additional rewards because, as you see here, material pattern 074 drops at a 25% chance. So it saves you that time of having to hack the consoles, and you can just destroy them, kill the boss, reload the zone if you'd like, and repeat. So for me, this is not bad at all. These drop rates are not horrible. It is all RNG based, so if you are having a bad RNG day, well, my condolences go out to you because this game can be absolutely brutal. So I wish you the best of luck, and I hope to see you guys succeed. Now we've reached the end of this guide here. As I said, I'm not going to go too into depth through all of these because I went in depth for the very first one, and they all work the same exact way. It's just different areas that you need to farm. So hopefully this guide was helpful to some, if not all of you guys. And if there are any questions, leave a comment, ask me anything you need to. I may also be live over on Twitch at the time you're seeing this video, so if you want to stop by and ask me any questions, talk to me, or just hang out in general, feel free to do that at twitch.tv/EEFANN. I try to stream almost every day when I'm not too busy, and I always appreciate you guys stopping by and saying what's up. And one more thing really quickly, I wanted to let you guys know that I am a part of the Nexon Content Creator Program. What this program does is allows you to support me further than the YouTube channel or Twitch channel if you guys would like to support, and anytime you buy something from the store, like if you buy Caliber, it gives me a small portion of what you buy in a form of points, which I can then convert into real money. So if you would like to do that and you want to support me further than just YouTube or Twitch, feel free to. I'll have a link in the description. If not, that is 100% okay. Thank you guys all so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.